map wasn't getting a whole lot of attention this week, but I found it fascinating. These percentages are showing exactly how much these countries are going to benefit from climate change. Obviously, these are just projections, but we're talking GDP per capita here. And on the contrary, these are all the countries expected to get hit negatively for some obvious reasons. I mean, it might be unbearably hot in the country of Sudan. But obviously, when it comes to the topic of climate change, everyone talks about the new passage that's going to open up for ships up here. Without all the ice, a bunch of new routes are to open up. But then again, without all this ice, sea levels are going to rise massively, which could be factored into some of these negative percentages. But then again, I'm not sure, because technically a country that's going to get devastated by sea level rise is Bangladesh. This is a nation that's highly vulnerable. Also, they've got like over 100 million people living here. Basically, if you live closer to the North Pole, you're expected to maybe somewhat benefit, but with the most benefits going to Norway according to these projections. Even beating out Canada, I would expect Canada to have probably the biggest gain, but no, even Norway, man, they got all that oil money, they need more. Also, Sweden expected to benefit, even though they only have coastal territory inside of the Baltic Sea and here. Then we just have the UK labeled at almost 10%. France is in the blue, but they don't have a percentage here. I want to know exactly how they got these numbers, because the US is showing in yellow, but remember, we also have Alaska over this way. This is allegedly based on Stanford research using economic data from 166 countries. Also, this comment goes into how electricity is becoming the most affordable renewable energy, which is going to help some of those places. I guess this would be an added cost benefit when I got my AC running all day because of the 130-degree Fahrenheit outside. Yeah, I definitely don't feel like this map is considering the possibility of sea level rise, also mass migration due to a lack of fresh water. However, if there are a lot more sea routes opening up in the North Pole, that is going to definitely economically hurt a lot of the other places, like for sure, like the Panama Canal, or a lot of ships have to go through Cape Horn here, or the Cape of Good Hope off of the African coast. Although shipping lanes wrapping around Singapore is partly why they've been so successful, I can imagine a lot of those ships might be detoured to go this way if there is a new route. It's hard to say. There's a lot of things to consider when it comes to this topic.